Shalom. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahabshai, Bahashem, Rakakodash. I want to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, because those are the men who I learned the truth from through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahabshai. Yahweh is the true name of the God of Israel. Yahabshai is who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, but his one and only true name is Yahabshai. And pretty much this should be a quick video. I'm just going to be addressing Apostle Paul's epistles. When Paul uses words like church, saints, brethren, dearly beloved, words like us, right? The people that he's addressing in these particular law areas is Israelites, because you need to understand, although it may be Ephesus or Philippi or Corinth, Greece, you had other nations that was there too. So when you read Apostle Paul's epistles, his letters, he's telling you who he is addressing in the letters. He's addressing the nation that's under the old covenant, which is the Israelites, his brethren, his kinsmen, according to the flesh, who are Israelites. Because Apostle Paul himself, when you read Romans, the 11th chapter, he's a Benjamite. All right. So when you read Galatians, the second chapter, his job on the planet Earth is to what? Teach and spread the gospel to the Israelite foreigners. And the Israelite foreigners that's a part of the elect, no matter how they look, right? Because it's not about how you look. It's all about, can you receive this gospel being a part of the seed of the promise, which is the 12 tribes of Israel. So as the Israelite foreigners that was a part of the elect, the dearly beloved, as their faith increased, so did their works. They started to keep the law more. They became circumcised. They started to rehearse the laws, statutes, and commandments. And then you had a bunch of Israelite foreigner churches that was in these particular different areas. All right. And what Paul would do is he would visit them when he could, or if he was in prison or jail, he would send letters to them. He would send trusted individuals that was under his discipleship, right, to these particular Israelite churches. The same way how you see particular elders and brothers travel to each other's churches, right, or camps, as you call it, which is an altar of the Lord, right? That's the same thing they was doing in the ancient Roman Empire. All right. So let's read this. So this is Philippians chapter 3, verse 1. It says, finally, my brethren, right? And this is what I want to focus on. Brethren. When you read Apostle Paul's letters, aka his epistles, what Esau calls the Pauline epistles, you're always going to see the word brethren there, because in order for you to be Paul's brethren, you have to be an Israelite for one of the 12 tribes of Israel. You cannot make yourself an Israelite, because the Most High, he's dealing with the chosen seed line, the seed of the promise, which is the Israelites. All right. So this is the Greek word for the word brethren.
Strong's G80, Adelphos, Adelphos.
All right. Yep. Strong's info, a brother. Right. It says a brother, whether born of the same two parents or only of the same father and mother. Now, what do all the tribes of Israel have in common? We all have the same common forefather, which is who? Jacob. Jacob's name was changed to Israel. When you read Genesis, the 35th chapter, the inheritances, the promise, it went from Abraham to Isaac and Jacob, known as the fathers of the promise. And who's the seed of the promise? Only the Israelites, the 12 tribes of Israel. All right. If you are not an Israelite, the promises, everything pertaining to the new covenant, it does not pertain to you. All right. It says having the same national ancestor. Who the hell is our ancestor? Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. All right. It says belonging to the same people or countrymen. So when you read Apostle Paul's letters, he's telling you who he is addressing in the letters. All right. He wasn't sent to preach this message to the actual Gentiles. All right. The gospel is not for the 17 heathen nations to receive. Now, are we sent to prophesy against kingdoms, yeah, Jeremiah 28:8. But as far as the ones that's going to receive this gospel, that goes back to predestination. And ultimately, you got to be a part of the elect of the nation of Israel to receive this gospel and salvation, which ultimately salvation is being delivered from destruction, the nuclear destruction, as well as Jacob's trouble. All right. But also the ones that receive salvation, which Lord willing, I hope to be a part of that, they're going to have the privilege of stepping into the new covenant first and being changed. All right. So let's go down here. So, I mean, that's the point. All right. His brothers by blood. And then he used the word Christians. Who's the original Christians? When you read Acts, the 6th and the 11th chapter, they were Jews that followed the Messiah. All right. So the definition for Christian today is not the same as the Bible because you have different Christian denominations, but they're all pagan philosophies and doctrines that come from the Roman Catholic Church. All right. So I just want to focus on that word brethren. So anytime you read Apostle Paul's letters and they use the word brethren, you know who he's referring to. All right. Ephesians 1 and 1. It says, Paul, an apostle of Yahweh Mashiach, by the will of Yahweh, to the saints. All right. Now, who are the saints? Psalms 50 and 5. Gather my saints together unto me, those that have made a covenant with me by sacrifice. All right. Who made a covenant with the Most High by sacrifice? The children of Israel in the wilderness. All right. That's in the Old and New Testament. It was only the Israelites. The mixed multitude, they never made it to the promised land. They don't have no lot in our inheritance. All right. And our inheritance is the promised land of Israel. Go on Google, go to the images section and type in Genesis chapter 15, verses 18 through 21, promised land of Israel. So you can see how big the land is. All right. There you go. It says, and the heaven shall declare his righteousness for the Most High himself, Salah. Hear, O my people, and I will speak, O Israel. Israel's the saints. And I will testify against thee. I am the Most High, even thy God, right? He is Yahweh, our God. So there you go. So the saints is the Israelites. Here's some more proof. Psalm chapter 148 and 14. It says, he also exalteth the horn of his people. Who is the Lord's people? The sea line / nation on the planet Earth that he made the covenants with. All right, old and new covenant, who he gave his heritage, his culture to, which is the law, statutes, and commandments. Right? He also exalteth the horn of his people, the praise of all his saints, even of the children of Israel, which even is just old English. All right. I went on Google. I typed in even as old English, right? Because I heard an elder brother say before, so I had to verify it for myself. It says that adverb is old English, right? Meaning exactly, just, likewise. So when it says even of the children of Israel, it's telling you meaning is the children of Israel, right? Only the children of Israel. It says the praise of all his saints, even of the children of Israel. So only the children of Israel are saints. So when you read Apostle Paul's letters, right, it's referring to Israelites. It's that simple. Whether it says brethren, church, deity, beloved, he uses words like us. Why does he use the words like us? Because Yahweh Shah's blood of sacrifice is only meant for the children of Israel. Because all Israel is going to be saved under the new covenant. But salvation is only for the elect of the nation of Israel. It says a people near unto him. Praise ye Yahweh. All right. There you go. So we know who his brethren is. We know who the saints are. Let me actually see if it has the word church in this verse. All right. See, look, he uses words like us. You can link that with Acts 5 and 31. All right. So that's pretty much it. You can link all these precepts up with Acts 5 and 31. Let me just finish it off with this. First Corinthians chapter 1 and verse 2. It says, unto the church. Here's another key word to let you know that Apostle Paul is only addressing Israelites in these particular geographical locations, right? Unto the church. Let's go into this word church. In the Greek, it's ecclesia, right? See what it says. Yep. Number two, the assembly of Israelites. There you go. So when he uses words like brethren, you got to come from one of the 12 tribes of Israel to be Paul's brethren, because Romans 11 says that he's a Benjamite. He was a Pharisee, right? Meaning that he knew the law front and back. He uses words like saints. The saints is the Israelites. I just read the precepts to back up my statement. All right. And then he uses words like church. So when you read his letters, he's letting you know who he's referring to. All right. Paul's job was to preach the gospel to the uncircumcision. It's just that simple, which is the Israelite foreigners that was in a pagan Gentile state of mind from the previous captivity of the Greek Empire, the Hellenization, and the previous captivities, meaning the previous slaveries we was under the heathen nations. All right. The assembly of the Israelites. That's who the church is. There you go. It says in the Christian sense, an assembly of Christians gather for worship in the religious meeting. So that's pretty much it. Lord willing, you was edified by the lesson of Shalom.